Hi everybody, Steve here from UK NFL Endzone, and today we're going to be taking a look back at Week 11 and the top 5 takeaways of the 2020 NFL season. So, whoa, hold the press. Just before that, there is a nice little snippet at the end of this video. Please do make it all the way through, no fast forwarding. You got to watch the whole thing. I will know. I've got the analysis through this wonderful thing called YouTube. However, there is a nice little bit of information for my fans that I wanted to share with you guys. It will cost you just 99 pence, but it is well worth it. Stick around till the end and you will know what that offer is. Number 5. So a story that doesn't seem to be going away on any sort of platform is that of COVID. One of the areas that the NFL has come out with this week is with regards to the way that players and coaches and really anybody that's at the sideline needs to deal with the COVID threat, and that is that they do have to wear masks at any point unless they are just about to go into the game or if they've got their helmet on. So either we're going to see a lot more NFL players stood around obviously with their helmets on themselves, or well, maybe they'll start wearing the masks. But unfortunately, one of the things that we have seen from the NFL is the fact that a lot of people don't seem to know how to wear a mask. This is meant to cover both the nose and the mouth, and 9 times out of 10, unfortunately, when the cameras turn to the NFL stars, it always seems to be just at that critical moment when either it's just fallen down or whether they're talking and it's popping around a little bit. But as per sources, it is going to be a chargeable offence. It is going to hit them in the wallets, and the NFL are going to be looking out for it a lot more stringently than they have been in the past. Number 4. So, Tua time found itself on the bench versus the Denver Broncos in Week 11. Now, the question that was on everybody's lips was, well, does this really mean that Fitzmagic is actually back? Is he now going to be the starter again of the Miami Dolphins? No, this was actually confirmed by Brian Flores that actually the starter will go back to Tua. It was just that Tua, during the Denver Broncos game in Week 11, just wasn't really that good, to be fair. So they needed a bit of Fitzmagic to come onto the field and maybe even save the game, give them a win, and then allow them to be a little bit further into the AFC East, getting a little bit more traction away from the Patriots, who are having a stinker this year. However, with the Buffalo Bills not exactly running away with the lead too much. Even though Miami did drop to the Denver Broncos, it still doesn't mean that they're out of the hunt. Neither does it really mean that the Patriots are either, which I'm extremely happy about. Number 3. So guess what? Unfortunately, it's made it onto my list twice, as we now have another message with regards to COVID. So unfortunately, the Baltimore Ravens returned back to their facilities and found out that multiple members of their team had actually tested positive for COVID. Now the question is going to be, obviously, where on earth did they get it from? Where is ground zero? And how on earth are they going to be able to turn it around so quickly on such a short week? Remember, the Baltimore Ravens were meant to be back in the practice field on Monday and Tuesday because, yeah, they're playing on Thursday night in the Thanksgiving games. This is obviously now going to be very questionable with regards to, number 1, how many people have actually been tested positive for COVID, and then number 2, how many of those players have actually come in contact with other players. Now, unlike many other times when COVID has hit, one of the things that the NFL has been able to do is segregate 1 or 2 players from the lineup. However, when we're talking about multiple players, the question's going to be, how many multiples? And number 2. So, unfortunately, this one hits really close to home, and sad to say, no pun intended really there. However, this affects my New England Patriots and a player who I think was going to be the 2020 season's MVP for the Patriots. Don't get me wrong, not the MVP for the entire league. Now, whilst his numbers don't exactly wow everybody with regards to the yards that he had got this year or the fact that he'd only scored really 3 touchdowns, it was all about when Rex Burkhead was playing well in the game, it seemed to be that the Patriots were doing extremely well as well. Now, you've also got, obviously, Damian Harris that was bringing in a lot of information and a lot of positivity with regard to the running game, but let's be honest, Rex seemed to have been sealing the deal when it came to being on the field. You never knew what kind of a threat that he was going to be. Very much like a James White, who thankfully the Patriots have still got. Now, unfortunately, worse news came out with regards to the injury. Now, the video, which is actually on my channel, and you can see it in obviously a slow-mo as well, shows that the Texans defender was going for quite a legitimate hit. This hasn't been classed as a dirty play. This isn't something that needed to be flagged or something that needed to be removed from the game in that sense. However, unfortunately, due to the new tackle rules, players are tending to go for the lower part of the body, although people should really still be going for the numbers with spearing and lowering the head kind of penalties that are coming up, and the fact that the quickest and the easiest way to get someone like a big tight end or a running back down is to go for the legs. This is actually a clean play. Unfortunately for Rex Burkhead, this has also meant the end of his 2020 season. He has torn his ACL and he will obviously need surgery to recoup. The only thing that's really left to say is that we all hope that Rex Burkhead makes a speedy recovery, and this isn't going to be something that's going to niggle with him when he goes through his career in the future. Get well soon, Rex. Number 1. So yes, it is another injury, unfortunately, and this one is an absolute shocker. Joe Burrow from the Cincinnati Bengals, number 1 pick out of the draft and Heisman winner, unfortunately going down to what can only be termed as an absolutely horrific injury. So if you, like me, watched the video live on Sunday, it was quite something to behold, and unfortunately something that made quite a lot of people not feel too grand. It is actually a torn ACL, and unfortunately this is the end of a promising season for the young rookie. Along with the torn ACL is also that of a torn MCL. So one of these injuries that quarterbacks do actually get to come back from. This isn't like when a running back goes down with one of these styles of injuries that they just don't ever really seem to come back to 100%. Unfortunately, what does tend to happen when a player goes down from such a horrific injury like this, they get a little bit antsy when they get back into the pocket. We saw this from the GOAT, that is Tom Brady, unfortunately getting taken out in week 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs back in 2008. Now, what we did see with Tom Brady is the dancing around in the pocket, the incompletions mounting up, and also the throwaways also skyrocketing through the roof. Just seems to be that when a player does suffer one of these styles of injuries, especially from sort of a blindside block, they will always have a little bit of a sped up clock that they didn't seem to have before. So with Joe Burrow out, this now falls to Ryan Finley to pick up the pieces and try and drive the Bengals on for the rest of the season. The only thing that's left for us to say now, like we did with Rex Burkhead, is we really hope that you do get well soon, and we do hope to see you back in the 2021 season. You had a fantastic start to your rookie career. Let's see how it continues from there. So that's it for my top 5 takeaways from week 11 of the 2020 season. I really do hope that you've enjoyed it. Obviously, if there is a new story that you would like me to look into or cover for another video, please do get in contact with me. Please always do like the page, and please do hit that subscribe button so that I can know that you guys are enjoying things, and I will continue making content. You will be seeing a couple more videos that are coming this way, and one of the other things that I would like to share with you is this fantastic piece of information that has come over from the NFL Game Pass. If you do want to watch the NFL Game Pass but you just can't really afford it, for Thanksgiving the NFL are actually giving this away for 99p. That actually means that pretty much from around 5:30 p.m. on the Thursday of Thanksgiving, you will be able to enjoy, well, pretty much the entirety of Game Pass, including all of the games that are actually streaming at that point, as well as all of their fantastic content that's behind there with the history of the NFL. So as you can see, there are a huge amount of games that are going to be played on the Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday of Thanksgiving week, pretty much is the way that the NFL seems to be selling it at the moment. Please do go over to the NFL Game Pass. You can search it just simply into Google and you can get that fantastic offer of 99p. When I do find any of these offers, I will always include them in my videos and try to get them out there as much as possible. One of the nice things that's on there, it also states which games are going to be shown on other stations as well as NFL Network. Obviously, with regards to NFL Network, you do have to watch out for what are classed as the blackout games, but at the end of the day, you'll always know which one is and which one isn't by, well, hey, who else is covering it. So nothing left for me to do now, just to wish you all a fantastic happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you soon. Enjoy week 12, and I'll see you next week.